Thank you for watching our video on the CSU General Education or CSU GE Pattern. This is the second in a three-part series focusing on general education. If you are planning to transfer to a CSU campus, this will be an important video for you to watch. We will be reviewing each of the different areas within the CSU GE Pattern, explain how many courses you need to take within each area, and how to plan to complete all your general education requirements before transferring. Once you are familiar with each of the general education areas, you can review the specific EVC courses approved for each area on the EVC website. Let's get started. The CSU GE Pattern was revised effective fall 2021. It now has 6 different areas of general education courses that you will need to take before transferring to a CSU campus. The first is Area A, English Language Communication and Critical Thinking. The second is Area B, Scientific Inquiry and Quantitative Reasoning. The third is Area C, Arts and Humanities. The fourth is Area D, Social Sciences. The fifth is Area E, Lifelong Learning and Self-Development. The last is Area F, Ethnic Studies. Area F is the new general education area added by the CSU system effective fall 2021. Students who begin taking classes at EVC in fall 2021 or later are required to complete the new Area F. Students who begin courses before fall 2021 may not be required to take this new Area F. It would depend whether or not you had any breaks in your attendance. You are strongly advised to meet with a counselor to discuss which version of the CSU GE pattern applies to you. Let's discuss each area individually. Area A focuses on English language communication and critical thinking. You will take 3 different courses in this section for a total of 9 units. You will be required to take 1 course in Area A1, Oral Communication. A1 courses all focus on some aspect of giving speeches. You will also take a course in A2, Written Communication. EVC's A2 is English 1A, which focuses on writing. Area A3 focuses on critical thinking. The courses in this area will help to further develop your writing and critical thinking skills. You must obtain a minimum grade of C or better in each of these courses to meet transfer requirements. Let's review the next area. Area B focuses on scientific inquiry and quantitative reasoning. You will take 3 different courses in this section for a minimum of 9 units. You will be required to take 1 course in Area B1, Physical Sciences. Some examples of a physical science are astronomy, chemistry, or physics. You will also take a course in Area B2, Life Sciences. An example of a life science is biology. One of the courses you take in Area B1 or B2 must include a lab. The lab requirement falls under Area B3, so you will be taking 2 science courses. One of the 2 science courses you take must also include a lab. The last part of Area B is Area B4. This will be the college-level math course you take. Which math course you take will depend on what you want to major in. Whatever math course you take for this area, it must be passed with a minimum grade of a C or better to meet transfer requirements. Let's go to the next area. Area C focuses on the arts and humanities. You will take 3 different courses in this section for a minimum of 9 units. You will take a course in Area C1, or the arts, 1 course in Area C2, the humanities, and a third course in C1 or C2. This means you must have at least one course in Area C1 and one course in Area C2. For the third course, you can choose from either C1 or C2. Let's go to the next area. Area D focuses on the social sciences. Effective fall 2021, the CSU system revised Area D. It now only includes 2 courses for a minimum of 6 units. Taking courses in the same academic discipline is okay. For example, taking EVC's History 17A and History 17B would meet the Area D requirement. Area D includes something called the American Ideals or American Institutions requirement. This is a CSU graduation requirement that includes 2 courses covering American history, the United States Constitution, and California government. If you plan your courses wisely, the courses you choose in this area could meet your Area D general education requirement and your American Institutions requirement. For students who began attending EVC before fall 2021 and maintained continuous enrollment, Area D is going to look a little bit different. You would need to complete 3 courses from 2 different academic disciplines. This means that you do not want to choose 3 history courses approved for Area D. You can choose 2 history courses, but the third course needs to be in a different area, such as Administration of Justice, Ethnic Studies, or Women's Studies. Again, you are strongly advised to meet with an EVC counselor to discuss which version of the CSU GE pattern applies to you. Let's go to the next area. Area E focuses on lifelong learning and self-development. You will most likely only take 1 course from this area since it only requires 3 units. You are allowed to use an approved physical activity course towards the 3-unit requirement, but only 1 unit of physical activity can be counted towards the 3-unit minimum in this area. Let's go on to the next area. Area F focuses on ethnic studies. You will be required to take 1 course for a minimum of 3 units. Remember, this is a new general education area effective fall 2021. It will be required for all new students who begin fall 2021 or after. Students who began attending EVC before fall 2021 and have maintained continuous enrollment will not be held to the new Area F Ethnic Studies requirement. If you think you might not be required to take this new Area F, be sure to meet with an EVC counselor as soon as possible to confirm which version of the CSU GE pattern applies to you. Area F is the last of the 6 CSU GE areas you will need to complete. Once you have completed all 6 areas, you will have about 39 units of college-level coursework completed. As we mentioned in our first video on what is general education is just one portion of the coursework you will need to complete before you transfer. Before we move on to the next steps, there's one more thing I wanted to discuss with you about the CSU GE pattern. Within the CSU GE pattern, there is something called the Golden 4. The Golden 4 are courses that you absolutely must pass with a grade of C or better. The 4 areas are Area A1, Oral Communication, A2, Written Communication, A3, Critical Thinking, and B4, Mathematics. Since these courses are so important, you do not want to wait until your last semester to take them. Get them out of the way as soon as you can. The C or better requirement in the Golden 4 does not mean that your grades in other general education areas do not matter. You still want to get the best grades that you can to make sure you meet the minimum GPA requirements for the four-year university you want to transfer to. Now that you have learned about each of the CSU general education areas and how many courses you need to take to complete each area, let's go on to the next steps and how to plan your coursework. When choosing which general education pattern to follow, you want to think about what your transfer goals are. Do you plan on applying to only CSU campuses? If your answer is yes, then you want to follow the general education pattern that we just talked about, the CSU GE pattern. If you think you might possibly apply to a UC campus or to both UC and CSU campuses, then you will want to follow the IGETC pattern. Part 3 of this video series focuses on the IGETC pattern. Sometimes students can be overwhelmed by how many options they have in choosing courses that might have been approved for each of the CSU GE areas. You might find yourself asking, what is that course about? If you would like more information on what is taught in an individual course, refer to the EVC College catalog and look under course descriptions to read more about that course. Finally, you will want to complete an education plan with an EVC counselor. An educational plan outlines the courses you should complete each semester in order to successfully meet your educational goal. A comprehensive education plan will include courses needed for you to complete your general education, major, and transfer or graduation requirements. When you are ready to create an education plan, you can schedule a counseling appointment online through the EVC's counseling website. Thank you for watching our video on the CSU GE pattern. We look forward to helping you meet your goals.